Welcome to Blended Philosophy.
What episode are we up to now?
I don't know. Probably like 20.
Do you number the episodes?
No, of course not.
So then
There's one per month.
So
So
fucking retard.
Right. It was 1 month in. Didn't you have a 2-year party? Half a year ago, something? I said that your 1 year
a
party.
year ago.
No, I've been to the year party.
How is this so weirdly mixed if you put it in a blender? Like I've got one sip that's just lemonade and then a sip
Do you
that's just vodka.
recognise it? I did it in honour of you.
It tastes like lemonade and vodka.
Another word for lemonade and vodka would be...
Smyrnoff Ice. Matt.
Well, that's not a lemon squash.
I don't give a fuck!
Turn off Google on the
It
phone.
does.
Oh shit, I forgot to do the timer. How did I forget that?
It should have been lemon squash.
How could I possibly forget that?
You're just bedazzled, Dave.
I'm fradazzled!
Dave, how much vodka is in this thing?
Yes. The topic for this episode is citizen. And the question is, should we have required services?
Like what?
Now, what's the definition of required services?
What is have? What does have mean?
I think we get to pick our own definition.
Required services can be people in the military, or we can extend that to nurses, delivery
Yeah,
drivers.
but why is military a required service and delivery driver not?
It
Exactly.
just said.
So we can expand it if we want.
Then that just becomes, should we have services?
Depends how far we expand it.
Or are you saying, should we have a category for services which are...
Exactly.
But why do you need... Maybe just come up with a category. You can put whatever label you want on it. Required services. You could have it the same thing to be in a thing called not required services. Not who's going to use this category, what special privilege will I have you.
We're saying that the services are required. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it like the poopy pee services, but they are a service that is required.
You mean sewer people?
So when I say
I
required
would say
services,
that's a pretty good one in terms of required service.
Yeah, I'm all for it, yeah.
Yeah, but so what if we say it's a required service? What effect does that have on society?
It means we keep it.
I have a proposal here. If you turn 18, or whatever the legal adult age is,
12.
let's say, yeah, maybe 12. It's I think it's 3 in France. It's not for driving and stuff, but for drinking alcohol.
3.
Yeah.
3?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Why even have a limit?
I don't know. Okay, so my proposal is, you become an adult, you're a legal adult. So you want to vote in the next election, you want free healthcare, you want to become a citizen, then you need, say, 18 months in public service, 36 in the private sector, just doing something that...
Public service in the private sector. So
Just doing something like...
just a job then?
Well, no, so...
36 months.
Then you can retire.
You could be employed by the state for 18 months, or you could do something that is necessary to keep society functioning. Like we have now with what's it called? Necessary. There's a
Teachers.
word for it now when we go into lockdown.
Essential workers.
Essential workers.
Yeah, but yeah.
No, essential worker.
Matt's an essential worker.
No,
I
an
am
essential
essential
worker
worker.
is someone whose boss keeps them at work during a pandemic. That is the actual definition. It's not like you can be doing something completely non-essential, but
The company you work at is allowed to stay open.
yeah. Or the
Sure.
company you're working at just isn't shutting down. Like no one's told them to shut down, so they're like,
Yeah.
well, I guess, like, yeah. I got friends who work in. They'll have a company that technically works in an industry that's allowed to stay open, so like they can keep working. You know, like if they, even though it's completely like, I got a friend who works in a company that distributes like furniture, and it's technically in the industry of transport. So like he still goes to work at the warehouse and like assembles furniture, and then they get trucks in, and then they give the furniture off to different parts of Perth, because and like it's essential, because it's transport, but it's like could it function without? I reckon you could argue most services are essential.
Alright, so you could, if you wanted to, spend 36 months peddling people around.
Yeah.
Or you could spend 18.
But you wouldn't get paid for it.
Oh, of course you can get paid for it.
With service.
Should we have required service? Not should we pay for required service?
So you're required to
Wait.
do a job and you still get paid.
Yeah, of course.
Isn't that just literally everyone? Because you need experience to get into it.
I agree. I agree. We should have jobs.
Yeah, we should have jobs.
No,
I
so
agree. Government and private.
That is.
some private jobs aren't essential though.
Should we have jobs that
Like,
aren't?
um,
This
essential?
job's not fucking essential.
It's transport.
It's
Right.
not essential.
So.
Okay.
It's only slightly essential.
Alright,
transport.
so not.
If the person who sells bikes can't be open, someone fucking rides them.
No, that's not the same.
It is actually, the person who sells bikes is more important.
Not really. It's like saying car dealership should be open, but like a mechanic can't be.
No, a car dealership should be open, but a fucking taxi.
Taxi.
Well, but a mechanic
What?
should be.
What's wrong with the taxi? Oh, during
Taxi.
lockdown.
Yeah. You have two people in a car during lockdown.
But
What about
taxi's
Uber
essential
driver?
because it's
It
not everyone can just buy a car if they want to go down the road.
Yeah, well,
So
we
they
have public
just rent
transport.
one and a driver. For like,
Public transport. You rent the driver.
so
Okay.
so
No,
wait,
no, no, great,
you
great,
can have a taxi, but you can't have a bus. I mean, you can have a bus, but you can't have a taxi.
Yeah.
Right. What's the big difference there?
Because the bus is, yeah, but no, if the taxis are like government controlled, because privately you can't control whether or not,
Oh, because you can just control someone if they work for the government.
No.
They would just follow all the
They've got,
regulations.
they've got,
They work for the
they've got a
government.
big fucking,
Have to.
Yeah, but the government imposes
plexiglass
regulations.
screen up there.
But the government imposes regulations on taxis, and the government tells bus drivers to follow regulations. So what's the difference?
Taxis don't follow the rules as well. As if you're directly paid by the government, you're going to follow the laws a little bit more than someone who's not.
You reckon, eh?
I think so.
That's a good point. Okay, so you could be a Deliveroo driver, for example, for 36 months.
I don't think that's essential either.
Oh, well, if it's Deliveroo, then you barely work at all. I can't do that. Is it salary or like per hour?
I think it's everything that
Is
you
it,
get.
so is
I
it
think
the,
it's
the instant you turn 18,
18.
you have to,
No, if you want to become a citizen.
if you want to become a citizen?
Yeah, so you don't have to.
But
Yeah.
then
If
You can just live somewhere else. can't you?
if you want to vote, if you want free healthcare, I don't know what the other
So
benefits are.
if you can't find a job, that's not free healthcare. If you can't find a job, you don't get
also,
healthcare.
is the healthcare free?
Well, in quotations for you, Henry, because you don't like tax. But yes, healthcare is free.
For Dave, very much so.
But you see, if you've got something wrong with you, you need to go on the waiting list, which is costing you your health, bits of your life. So is it really free?
What?
So,
Yes.
but
Or say you lost your arm in a shark attack.
I lost my arm in a shark attack.
And they can't fully replace it with a bionic arm that is
Yeah,
covered in
they're
flesh.
not going to like give you a nice bionic arm for free. They're just going to be like, here's a wooden stump, or
Oh, no,
here's a little
you want
case to put on the
plastic.
end.
Yeah.
if you need more money, right? You go to shops and you buy these chemicals. Oh, yeah, you can also save yourself on the street, man. That's another great way to make up the deficit.
Alright, so what do we think about required services?
I'm still a bit confused. Like, What are you asking?
So, should there be should citizens basically have mandated employment? Well, I guess it's the end of it. In my specific proposal, I was like, oh, in order to become a citizen.
No, but because then before you do that work, you're not a citizen.
No, that was just my special thing. I was like,
Oh, well, but then
if we're just.
But then what's the point of putting certain things in a category and then doing nothing with that category? It needs to be...
What? We're doing something with that category.
But what? Your idea of doing this and that, but you said that's just your idea.
Okay, yeah.
So you take some services and you put a label on it.
Yeah.
Is that what it says?
What? Who cares? What does that mean?
Well, when you
It's
do that
only
one-
that label if something's
At some point.
categorized that and,
Yeah, no, that's
and
what
it
I'm
has
saying.
some legal...
Oh wait, no, yeah,
consequences.
that wasn't the wrong
Yes. Should we have legal consequences for mandated employment?
But what consequences?
Say,
But you're just now making up one example.
yeah, okay, another example is you get shot if you don't do it.
What then? No. Why? Why have a category that's not even defined? Why do we need a category of things where the consequences of having that category aren't defined? How can you even... What? It makes no sense.
Do you want to predefine it then?
Yes, you have to.
Go on.
It's your question.
Thanks,
Thought this might happen, eh? Half the fun is defining it.
Hmm?
We could decide whether or not we should have required services. And then if we
Should we have duck services?
required
Right.
services,
There could be benefits to making people.
Yeah, but that's just one of
Do
Dave's
service.
idea. The question isn't really about that.
if,
Should we have
if,
blue blob services?
if required
That's my question.
if required services are a thing, right? If we agree that we should have required services.
Should we have super required
Shut up,
services?
let me finish.
Alright.
If we agree that we should have required services, then later on we can define what those required services should be.
Why not have
Okay.
super ultra required services?
It doesn't
Or
sound as
premium
serious. It doesn't
required?
sound as serious as required services.
Essential.
I don't know.
Why aren't we debating whether we should have essential?
Essential
Because I wrote
services.
down required instead of essential.
It's
So
just
the-
a word. Now you're just arguing over which words we should use to
No,
define a
my
category.
point is that whatever word you've just said, these we're going to put something. We're not even defining what is a required service. All we're saying is that we're going to put a label on some
a bunch of
services which we
services,
don't
yes.
know, and then use that label to then direct and target. We don't know what. Should we do that?
I know, it's a difficult question, that's why we're discussing it. You know,
What's the point of that?
What's the point of anything?
You can say no and then just call them essential services if you thought that was important. I don't get it. It makes no sense.
Alright, required services. What are some possible required services?
These toilets.
Police.
the armed forces.
Think
Yeah,
about the
forces,
environmental
police.
impact of all the toilet paper, because you could.
We put emergency services, eh?
Well, ambulance driver, there you go.
I wouldn't want someone who's forced to be there to be my paramedic.
That's true, hey.
Paramedic, thank you.
No, I'm saying that's not a good one.
No, but this is coming into it. These are.
But you only have to
We're
do-
defining required services now.
Here we go.
Firefighter.
The Throne smart toilet. The Throne Prince smart toilet. $5,000.
Yeah, they have to do like 3 years study to be a paramedic.
Now this is
No, it's like,
intelligent.
it's like 7.
Integrated
To be a
needs.
doctor.
Yeah, don't you need to be. You know, you need to do like nursing or something first.
No, but it's you get a paramedic degree.
Yeah, you need to do a degree first.
No,
I swear you do.
it's a straight paramedic
Are you
degree.
sure?
Yeah,
Yeah.
What?
You need to get in and out. I'm surprised it's 3 years long. That's
they do it
Fuck
at
loads.
Curtin.
Oh.
Yeah, legit, they teach
No,
you.
I know it's someone.
You
that
learn the same
He has to do
things.
nursing first, and then he has to do paramedic. And I know another chick who's doing like some medicine degree before she does her paramedic degree.
Maybe they decided to do both so their skills are transferable.
Also, I've heard you can only do paramedic for like 7 years.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
What, like it stops?
Yeah, like you don't do it for so long because it's so stressful. Maybe not 7. 7 seems ridiculous. You have to get a degree
That's
for it.
because it's so stressful.
Literally, I've heard there's a time limit.
Look at these.
That's so dumb.
Three
And like,
features.
but like the army, you're like forced to be there for like what I think it's like 4 or 5. You have to be there for, and you can be there till you're like fucking 70.
I found a good feature for you, Matt. So, the one pocket 3-way stainless steel nozzle has 3 modes. Posterior wash cleanses the posterior.
Alright, I'm forces. Will they be your required service?
I feel like that's a good one. Better
Okay.
than toilet man.
Do you mean should we have them at all?
No, does that fall into the definition of required services?
Well, it's not even whether they've. Oh, we're just discussing because the question isn't what falls into it. You know.
No, but
I
you
mean,
said that we should
really, if no one had
predefine
armed
that
forces,
before we
would we
answer the
require
question,
armed
and that's
forces?
what we're doing.
Okay.
Don't bail out and be like,
What?
I thought we still would.
For what?
For what?
Yeah.
Well, the armed forces don't just shoot other armed
Oh,
forces.
they say they
That's
don't,
true.
but like,
what?
what else do
They have
do?
more than one
They
job.
do search and rescue, alright? You get,
No,
the,
no,
you get the
it's-
helicopter out if someone's lost at sea.
No, most of what they do is just to like sit at home and
Exactly.
no,
I
just,
can do that for way less.
just exist so that
Yeah, I can do that.
no, so that the other person who has developed armed forces as well doesn't try anything funny.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. If no one had armed forces,
Then one person makes armed forces and just takes the world.
Look, maybe we should instead of having
Yeah, but then
armed
like
forces,
you notice that they're making armed
do-
forces.
So you make an armed force.
Advanced
I think
weapons
it
development.
may have started somewhere.
So drone
Somewhere down the line
weapons,
is
Yeah, but it's not
weapons,
necessary.
Rail guns,
it is.
nanobot weapons.
You realise that's not a thing, right? That's just Quake. Railguns.
No,
Rail
rail
guns
guns
are
are
legit.
legit. The
if
Chinese
you
rail
wanna make a
gun is
railgun-
really good.
Oh, how good are their trains?
They're actually really good. They made a world-class train system.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
it's actually like one of their strengths.
We should invest more
Sorry,
in the
did you,
technology.
Dave, did you, sorry. You're saying railguns are fake?
What?
Do you know what a rail gun is?
No.
I don't know
And
what a railgun
no.
is.
It's just something that speeds up a bullet with electromagnets, essentially.
Because bullets are so slow.
Actually, you got a huge.
Instead of using the fucking gas, the bullet just sits in there and you turn it on and just flings it out.
Okay.
And at the moment they're on
Impressive.
ships,
And not at all what
and
I
you
thought
shoot
about
huge.
Yeah, they're on massive ships because they can't find a way
And
to
it's like small.
Oh, but the bullets are bigger? What's,
Oh,
the,
bigger.
what's the advantage from
They go really, really fast.
Oh, okay.
Really fast.
Faster than those slow powder.
No, but they go so
bullets.
fast that they don't have to have an explosive on. Like, you know,
Yeah.
once you get them up to a certain speed, it doesn't matter what it is. It'll
And
just...
it's like the plasma gun in
But it needs to be
Halo.
What?
Doesn't it?
You charge it up, you shoot it out, and then it's got to cool down for a moment.
Say, is it like the railgun in Quake? So weapon development. Is that
Actually, the railgun in Quake shoots out a beam.
Lasers. That's also.
should that be a required service?
What are you talking about? Quake? Fucking stupid.
No, I was saying perhaps instead of the military, the having so much armed services, the money should be reinvested into advanced weapons development.
But I feel like the most powerful weapon is the
Knowledge.
weapon.
Yes.
What?
Education.
Ninja.
sorry, sorry. The most useful weapon is
Diplomacy.
it's just the basic soldiers because you've got the masses of them. And
Yeah.
that's where
So you think it's a numbers game?
a person with a rifle is like the main weapon.
What drones
Every army.
swarm versus
I don't know.
Traditional
I'd rather have
army.
one nuke than 1,000 soldiers.
I'd rather have 1,000 soldiers if I'm honest.
But okay, you got one nuke, I have 1,000 soldiers.
Yeah, I know.
All I have to do is spread them out and nuke's width.
Yeah, but then I've got the threat of the nuke, don't I? So if you come close to attacking me, then I might use my own nuke.
I have to have one
Hell,
soldier.
I could have a pulse link to my nuke and have my other nuke on, like near me at all times. So if any of your soldiers come and try and kill me,
Then
then
you die.
they will die.
So I'll send one soldier.
It's a good point.
Yeah,
Once I,
That soldier will die.
or I might have a trained on you and you wouldn't know.
Oh, okay.
And if you did know, then like I'd be able to also tell your soldiers that like if they go after me, you know, like if we're gonna be spying on each other, we'll be on.
Oh no,
No,
man,
you've only got the
nuke.
nuke. I've got people, you've got a nuke.
Yeah, but you don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
Alright, ambulance drivers. Are they a required service?
Well, now with Elon Musk's auto drive or Waymo,
True. Oh.
I think an ambulance
Speaking-
driver has to make more decisions.
or it doesn't need to make less because
No.
it just plays the sound and then it goes plays the sound.
I mean,
I don't know. I've seen people drive ambulances with the sirens on, and they drive like 3 to 4 k's over the speed limit. So I'm totally in favour of like someone taking over that job who's not like a massive bitch. You know, like if I'm having a heart attack, if I'm having a heart attack, like and you're driving 103 on a freeway, I'm gonna be like severely disappointed. You know.
It's good.
That's fair.
Since there's no one driving it, they can get that thing, you know, barreling.
Yeah, literally. And if everyone else's and if everyone else's car has that, you know, that all the cars are talking to each other, they'll be like, oh yeah, you know, the car's gonna come past 180 k's now, and like everyone get out of that lane, easy peasy.
And
No crashes.
the
What about the one
paramedics,
person who still has
the paramedics,
Well, they'll need a new ambulance, don't they?
when they get into the ambulance, they go into this like a cage basically, and it goes shh, and it pressurizes like a bubble, like the same thing you get
Like
the
freezes them in
air pads.
carbonate, kind of thing.
Not quite.
like a Zorb ball.
Yeah, they go into a little pod inside the ambulance,
That sounds safe for someone that could have a spinal injury.
and then they just floors it. And so even if the ambulance crashes, their pod just opens,
yeah.
and they're like, oh well, nothing
Once
happened
it
to
crashes.
me. If it crashes,
I think
So
that
that's
if
why
they
they
need an ambulance that badly and it crashes and they have to get a new one out, I feel like
yeah,
it'd be
but that's
dead.
why they've got
Yeah.
more. They can have more now.
hey,
Yeah, let's
but
get
then,
more
but then
paramedics.
we could have just the air ambulances. You know, wouldn't that be so much better?
You could.
Like it's like air Uber, but just for ambulances. Like surely that'd be so much better. You know?
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Probably a bit more expensive than the car version.
Yeah, but you know.
Or motorcycle ambulances. So the
Or
paramedics go on a
I'm
motorcycle.
I'm against that right from the get go.
No, two paramedics on a motorcycle, one at the front, one at the back, and they hook they put the stretcher in the middle and it rolls because they got wheels on the bottom.
Okay, what about doctor? That's something that can't be automated.
I don't think that's something that should be done by
Yeah.
someone for like 18 months straight
Yeah,
out
I
of
think you
school.
should get trained for that.
Yeah.
Alright,
But also, it would be cool if we could automate that one day. You know?
it would be cool.
Just have a machine that
That can diagnose like everything.
Yeah. And then all those people who are like, I'm a med student.
Yeah.
Okay, farmers. Is that a required service?
Yeah, we need food.
Yeah. Again, AI is probably very easy to implement for a farm. Just like drive.
It's
Drive.
For like plants and that, for growing thinging grain, sure. But for feeding cows and for milking cows and for killing cows,
Yeah, they need that.
chickens.
They need that
Oh,
human
no,
touch,
no.
don't they? Else they just, else they never develop emotion.
No, this is it. The cows. I can't believe no one's thought of
Cows
this
that drive the car.
No. So your cow, you just got a huge like warehouse, and each cow is in a cell with VR goggles on, and it's like in one of these devices where it's moving, and it thinks that it's moving, so it's all happy through the
Sorry,
field.
fucking
So
expensive.
it's on there moving. So
No, but the point is they don't move.
Right now, that'll be cheap.
Whatever they do with grass. And
Skyscraper.
specific
All the
hormones
cows.
stuck in the box.
They'll be like, yeah, this is only 1 million tons.
Versus a
I
cow.
know, when they're done with it, they just like
They
open
can
up the
walk
walls,
around, have the sun.
floor.
Okay, so farmers, are they required service? I think we like them, yeah.
are
Yeah.
cows required service?
No, cows are delicious.
They're called women now.
Maybe the ones in there.
I didn't mean that about you.
That's just
that was me. I just meant it.
Jeez. She'll watch this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thanks.
No, she won't.
Oh,
I know. I was also like, well,
What?
that's
I
not
also
really-
said thanks then.
Is Matt's girlfriend going to be at the party?
Alright, Prime Minister. Is the Prime Minister a required service?
No.
Controversial, I know, but feel free to
No, I don't
feel
know.
like Matt and speak
Do,
your mind.
do they do anything? No.
That's a good question.
The Prime Minister just like represents the country, yeah?
Basically, that's more the job of the Governor General.
Does he just
No,
give
the
people
Governor General
power to do it?
represents the Queen, you tard.
the
Yeah,
Prime
and therefore the
Minister.
state.
Basically.
No, I don't think so. Maybe.
The Governor General represents the Crown, England.
Yes, the Governor.
Not fucking Australia.
Yes, okay. The Governor General does all the PR shit. They like cutting ribbons and stuff.
Okay, the Prime Minister represents the country
Correct.
to the people outside the country.
Yes.
But yeah, so they're like a delegate, but they go to all of the countries instead of just staying at one.
They are
Yeah.
still head of the cabinet. So they are.
What do they do?
Yeah.
They get a little bit more talking time.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming that they.
They're asked to like give speeches and stuff.
Yes.
And it's like they're literally just there as like they're just a big publicity.
They must
No.
have. They must have some extra powers.
They
You're not
elect
saying they have
the-
any
they-
powers. Come on. They must have like one
No,
power.
they're the same as a member of parliament.
Yes.
Yeah, but since they're
No, so not only that, but they elect or appoint the ministers. And
Okay, but
exactly. So he's head of the cabinet. He can appoint the cabinet, but
But
if
they
he's-
don't do all the
Just-
deciding.
just-
They're in a
just-
big party.
It's just
the
they're
party-
accountable to people. Doesn't mean they don't have any extra powers.
No, I'm sure 90% of the ministers are.
I would say 100% of it is picked within the party. Or they
Yeah. Doesn't mean they don't have any extra powers.
Yeah,
You said they didn't. You said they were like exactly the same.
yes, I don't think there's any power other than that, and that's basically just picked by the
Okay.
party. A power that like actually is there.
Another thing that's basically picked by the party that the Prime Minister has to do, no one else gets to, is some things. No, I'm not going to finish that sentence because I'm not sure. So I'm bailing out. But Prime Ministers are part of required services.
Not in my opinion. I
Not
don't
in your
think
opinion.
I don't think we require them. Sorry, no.
Okay, it's a little clearer. I think we need them because they're default position basically. So you could change the title Prime Minister to President or Dictator or whatever you want. But we would invent one if there wasn't a position already.
I don't think we need a figurehead for the country.
I'm saying a figurehead or whatever you want to call it is inevitable. That's part of our social hierarchy. We would just invent it sooner or later.
Hey,
I'm saying we don't need one.
apparently there's no mention of a prime minister in the Australian Constitution. That's what this website says.
There you go. Oh, hang on.
It's
Is that .com?
But they're in danger of being
.net?
shut down, so maybe they're onto something.
Really?
The government shut down.
No,
Is it .gov?
No.
Well, it can fuck off.
Well, the government's not really like, actually.
Why not?
They've been stealing our money this whole time.
But I mean, yeah, it might not be the most reliable website, but just because it doesn't have .gov on it doesn't mean it's like necessarily wrong.
I wouldn't say just because it has .gov on it you should trust it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well, of course I would trust it until I hear
Oh,
otherwise.
I hear you, yeah. Well, they pay me all my money. So.
No, I'm not sucking dick. I'm just saying that
How are you getting money?
if it's got .gov, I assume it's from the government, and I assume it's true.
You assume that the government is correct. All
Yes.
the time.
Dave, you gotta
Yes.
look at .gov.au.
wow.
Ooh.
The more I
Yeah.
read, the weirder this gets. The cabinet has no legal power, and its existence is not mentioned in the Constitution.
This is coming from some like conspiracy.
This is
theory.
.gov.
Really?
Yes.
This is from the government.
This is .gov.
They actually have no power. They're also just like figureheads.
Well, yeah, because the party just says.
Yeah, because it's voted. Bills are just voted. Yeah, it's not. They don't
Well, yeah,
have-
and the party just says, all right, you can be the minister for police or in education,
Yeah, they don't.
and
actually
they've
do
just and then the party's just delegated them those roles.
They're just the
to
person
do
who
that.
has to be on TV when there's a press conference.
Pretty much, I guess.
Yeah.
Shit.
There you go. All right.
Wait, who does sign things into law?
The Governor General.
Good to go to the Prime Minister.
Wow.
Yeah, the Governor General is the one that signs the laws.
Wow,
So
I didn't realise the executive branch is basically made up in Australia. It's barely like like in America they've got like real tangible powers and stuff, like the executive branch. It sounds like Australia's just like yeah.
I feel something.
Weirdo.
I'm not surprised. So Matt, I'm saying the figurehead is inevitable, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's required.
Yeah, I'm saying something.
Yeah, it is, I agree that it's inevitable, but
That's the dumb.
does inevitable mean it's required?
What?
Well, no, not necessarily.
No, he's saying that it would happen because of how our brains work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that kind of makes sense. You think of all the people out there, like they couldn't handle the Liberal Party's power. They'd have to put it on a person. I reckon. So maybe in that way it's required to maintain order.
Okay. That's a pretty
I think
strong
it's required. I think it's just like a thing that's bound. There's bound to be like the top person in the tribe.
And everyone needs a scapegoat too, so.
Yeah. Well, like the person who gets all the bananas, like they have to exist.
position. Okay, think of it this way.
Do they?
As a monkey, like
Hypothetically speaking,
the top. The top.
hypothetically speaking, should 18-year-old
Like you put it all on me. Oh.
He's all, yeah, I'm trying to push it that way.
stop pushing the fucking
I
table?
know, I'm
Whatever
just
it
letting,
is.
if we all lean our feet on it equally, then it'll be fine.
Really, Dave is screwing this up.
Yeah, eventually
Actually, no,
it
this
will
is
break.
good now.
You
Henry's
can't.
kind of cancelling out. It's like a combination of our two vectors.
I'm not worried about the counterbalance
just-
of the position of the table.
We are. Okay.
Don't fuck with his structural integrity.
Okay.
Thank you.
So should I take this cup off?
No, because that's... Well, you should, so you can drink some of that and then you can get more drink if you want more drink.
I thought we divided it equally.
Yeah, there's none more.
Get a different drink if you want some drink. And there was a little bit left in the blender,
Don't
and I
have
filled
to-
the
don't
blender
have
with
to
water.
wait.
Technically still vodka in that.
I don't have to wait 2 more days so I can have a different drink.
What? Oh, I don't have any Smyrnoff Ice left.
Oh,
No, he's moving on to double blacks in a couple of days.
that's just the same thing.
Oh, okay. No, it's a bit different, isn't it?
Okay, 19
Same
minutes.
fucking-
Crazy.
I think promises are required.
Double black.
Different brand.
Prime
What?
Ministers.
No.
Yeah, double blacks are stronger, aren't they?
You need a scapegoat.
Aren't double blacks 2 standards?
Yeah, it's just a 2-stage.
If you just knock him off, the next person in line will be the
It's just
scapegoat.
the same, it's just with more vodka in it.
Oh, no, yeah, so yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
different. Basically, is what you're saying.
Alright, I
And
think
it's club soda, no, not club soda, club lemon with an extra.
I think we're agreeing here, so we can stop.
Alright.
so. No, you gotta get in the spirit of blended philosophy.
I don't agree with government.
Oh, okay.
Just in
I-
general?
No, the way it's currently done.
I guess I've got here political admin, so just the background people that keep
No.
the country running.
No.
Oh, I think you might need someone.
I think they.
I mean,
I can change the
Do you mean
wording.
political
there.
admin or just admin?
Oh, just the
Government, yeah, admin.
the people that-
yeah.
run the country, basically. The actual people that run the country.
Run
What?
the country.
What does that even
You know,
mean?
like I'll try and think of an example.
Yeah, like someone who manages the hospitals, not a paramedic, but they're still kind of.
Oh, okay, but they're not a
Yeah.
fucking, they're not a, sorry. You're saying it like it's the fucking secretary.
The people, the chairperson.
Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, the speakers, and
No.
I'm sure there's other roles.
No, that's just the parliament. I don't think
No.
they're that essential.
Okay.
Because they're just there to be like, oh,
Well, it might actually, no, actually, it might be essential. If
I've already crossed it off.
no, because you need them to make decisions to help get out of whatever mess you're in, don't you?
what?
You heard me.
Yeah, what did you
What
fucking
do you mean? They're
mean?
essential services. So if something's going on that's bad, you need people who, even if they do it really poorly, who are discussing how to get out of that mess that you're in.
I think everything should be down to a referendum.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, there we go.
Cool.
You've soaked too much faith in people.
What?
No, it doesn't, you fuckhead.
No, I think if you pay
You're
taxes,
the
you should.
person, and so is he.
So if you pay taxes, you should be able to vote on all the issues in your country.
Okay, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, bankers.
Which means most people would vote for less taxes.
Should your vote be proportional to how much tax you pay?
No.
Did you say bankers?
Yes,
No,
bankers required.
That would just mean that rich people get the most votes.
Mm.
Or the people who get taxed the most get the most votes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Mm.
Well, because at some point you were taxed the least.
That sounds like a recipe for just.
Yeah. That's,
Well, I guess they would
You can already
give lots of money as tax, and then when they were able to make the decisions, they vote just to give themselves the money back and do anything else. So. Yeah.
or no, well, yeah, no, but it's like you pay a certain amount and you just get to pick what happens in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you would pick like, oh, my company doesn't get taxed.
Yeah. Oh, let's abolish all these regulations.
Yeah, but then, no, if their
That's
company,
the thing that says you can't.
if their company doesn't get taxed, then they would get less choices.
Oh, true. Yeah.
But they, or no, sorry, they
they
can be like,
had a special exception for their company.
Yeah.
So that they get
Oh,
to do
okay.
it.
well, you'd be like, let's remove the laws that say we can't let children smoke. Sell some more cigarettes.
Okay, bankers. A banker's
But
required.
ironically, like people make some pretty dodgy donations to parties anyway. We're saying how you'd be able to just pay lots of money and then decide what happens in the country.
Yeah.
And people are like very much trying to do that anyway.
Well, no, you don't decide what
You
the
don't
country
know-
does. You get to decide what the party does.
What? Yeah,
Excellent-
but
excellent
they're inclined to do like what you want them to do once you give them a lot of money.
Only if they expect you to pay them again.
Yes, a good point.
Yeah. Or you,
We've only got
yeah.
14 minutes left.
Okay.
Bankers. A banker's required.
No. You can get fucked.
Yeah.
Delivery drivers.
So quick.
No, you need some form of.
You mean bankers in terms of like investment bankers, yeah?
Sort
No,
of-
I mean bankers as in the person that enters into the spreadsheet how much money you've got.
No.
I think a
no.
computer should do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no, I think that computer can stay on.
Delivery drivers.
Otherwise, yeah, investment bankers but they can get fucked.
No, I don't think you need delivery drivers.
Yeah, you do. What do you mean? What about people who are like stuck at home or they need people to deliver stuff? Well, and delivery drivers, do you mean people who like drive trucks too?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty essential.
Yeah, I think trucks are important.
Because they just restock places. Delivery drivers could like restock Woolies and stuff. Or do you just mean like your Domino's delivery drivers? Like
I'm including them.
yeah, I mean
But
yeah,
they probably are all included under the same.
yeah, probably.
Right, nurses. I feel like
Yeah.
not everyone can do their own healthcare.
I don't think that someone, again, with the same doctor thing,
Yeah.
direct out of.
Oh, we're talking about this in the frame of people making people do it who are
No,
Asian.
this
Yeah.
No,
is
this
just.
is just to
the category.
define what
This
a
is the
required
category.
service is.
Oh.
We're
We
not.
haven't even got started on that.
Well,
Then why we take
A doctor is a required service then. Why did you fucking
Why?
cross that off?
Explain.
Our issue was that
I
people
forgot.
straight out of high school were doing it.
Matt wasn't listening.
Yeah, hypothetically,
He-
that could be the case.
No, I was like, that's my issue with it. I didn't say that doctors aren't a required service. I said
Okay,
that was-
I've already crossed it out, so explain why they are a required service.
What? We need fucking doctors to keep people alive.
Not if we've got nurses. We haven't debated nurses yet.
Doctors have more power than nurses.
Power.
Yeah, so
That's what
that's what
everything.
That's what they get in it for.
They
They
also
want
do.
the power.
spend more years at university, don't they?
Yet they have more information in their brains.
No, they
about
don't.
people's lives. Why not?
You try and keep a fact for 7 years, but you can't do it.
Well, if you're at a fucking hospital every day, doctoring,
Oh, yeah.
doing your specialty every day, you probably might catch on to a couple of things.
A nurse is required.
Sounds like you'd be able to do it in your own time. You just catch on to everything.
Yeah, I reckon nurses
Yes,
are
nurses
required.
required.
Okay. Firefighters,
Yeah.
Yeah.
ambulance drivers.
Yes.
Would that fall under delivery?
Sure. You know.
You know,
Bring the ambulance to your
firefighting used to be like the draft.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Like, yeah, like you would just do firefighting for, it would be like, fire service. Or like a fire would happen and like you would have to go with your bucket.
I know what firefighters are. Weapons. Weapons development.
No,
Is that
No,
required?
it's not
I
required.
don't think it's a requirement.
That is an argument.
Unless you're in a war, then maybe you can bump it up.
Yeah, Mike got like
So
1 or 2 notches
Yeah.
above delivery.
Overnight industry pops up.
Well, yeah.
So the idea of the blended philosophy is to stand for all place and all time. So who are we going to be in a war with? Nobody. Good point. No.
Okay, well, no, we will be at war at some point.
What with Satan?
What?
With Satan?
With someone. At some point, I said. Not with Satan.
Yeah. No, I said what with Satan.
No, just
Just
because
What?
could be a country, could be a planet.
Hey, he's just asking you.
Yeah. But what if there was world peace?
Exactly.
I'm saying world peace could be possible. Galactic peace.
No,
could
but
not.
no, but you're right. It won't necessarily be a requirement.
I see what Dave's saying.
There's like a 99%
I can't agree with
chance.
Dave.
Yeah,
No, that's fucked.
it's not a certainty, so we can't
It is
say
a certainty.
yes.
I'm saying
No.
war is a certainty.
What if we?
Well, I'm saying you are a pessimist. Okay, armed forces. Armed forces are required.
Well, this is like a
It's the
big.
same as the previous question.
This
I'm
is
saying
but this is just like a big
Yeah.
political question people are talking about.
I think armed forces are the
Okay,
same
no.
as police force. Just on an international scale.
Think of it this way.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's assume there's world peace and galactic peace and universal peace if we're going that far. Let's say
Outside the observable
There's-
universe as well.
there's yeah sure
Interdimensional peace.
yeah. Peace everywhere.
Interdimensional, multi-galactic universe.
Peace
multiverse.
through.
Time peace?
Yeah, into like temporal.
Throughout
peace.
all
Time
time
peace.
as well. We'll go back in time.
Well,
and
there's not
everything
time
gets
peace
all
because there's still reverse time Hitler. Back in time, you know.
Let's assume there's
Oh,
not
that's
reverse
You don't
time.
know that. People could have gone back in time and changed it. And,
Unhitler.
yeah, and
Cure
time
Hitler.
still hasn't caught up to us yet.
Someone goes to the beach.
What
A
if
shark
what if
happens
it's an
to
alien?
be there, or an alien. An alien to the land or an alien to the planet. Are we going to defend ourselves or are we going to be diplomatic about it?
One to the shark.
Or the alien?
Well, if we have yes, we should have armed forces if there's aliens.
I agree.
That's what I was saying, is there's not always going to be peace. There could be aliens.
Do you
Right.
believe there's aliens?
No,
You
but
said there could
Dave already said there'd be intergalactic
I
peace,
believe-
So
I believe there is definitely, there are maybe not like intelligent life existing at the same time as us, but there could be. And
But could you put a probability on that non-human intelligent life? Like,
intelligent. That's a different.
yeah.
Well-
So, okay.
able to make guns that could shoot us.
Oh,
Yeah.
if there's an infinite universe, then basically, yeah, there should be a.
Yeah, but it has to be able to, it has to be able to travel to where we are from where it is.
No, even
Well,
if
in
they
that
couldn't
case,
travel to
that's
us, do you think that? What would you give the probability?
If they can't travel to us,
I don't know what the problem, but it's bigger than 0.
bigger than 0.
Wait, is it like less than 1? Or is it,
I put it above 50%.
Excellent.
50%?
The universe is massive.
Yes, 50%. We've got 6 minutes.
You're right. How many
Yeah,
if
if
it's
it's
just anywhere in the universe, not even one that would be impossible for us to contact.
What would you say, Dave?
0, but that doesn't
How many
matter.
planets are there, though? Like, that could
What,
sustain life?
5? Who
There'd be,
cares?
no, there'd be like a billion. Wouldn't there?
There'd be more than you can if it's infinite.
Or even close to infinite. It's still pretty
Alright,
cool.
6 minutes.
You said that many
I
planets,
think
like-
they're required. No one's disagreeing
yeah,
with that.
they're required.
Okay, cool. Do
But
you
there'd be no aliens.
do we want to
Well,
there's sharks.
Intergalactic
Even if it's a
Horses against the shark.
even if it's a
Fair.
1% chance
Alright.
that there's aliens out
That's
there, wouldn't you want someone with a gun that could shoot them?
Thank you. Thank you. Oh,
No,
what's
but
his
not,
name?
not at the cost of other things you could do with that money.
Thank you.
Because the probability of there being an alien, if it's 1%, and then the probability they'll come is like another 1%.
No, sorry.
There's a possibility
the
that
possibility they'll come. Sorry.
possibility that they'll come. If it's only 1%, then
Okay.
with high possibilities of other things. Like global warming's like a certainty.
Point well made.
depending
Chris.
on-
Oh,
Depending on what you
there's
think.
different theories on that one.
Yeah, there are different theories, but like you know,
Oh, no,
most of the,
flashing days.
Some people say it's a wave.
most of them
That
point to more
means
than
it's a
1%.
Oh,
So,
Yeah.
you know, in which case I'd rather put money into that.
Fucking eco.
Alright, do we want to argue doctors? We've
No,
already got
I'm
nurses.
just
We
saying,
should have.
you put the
we
money,
should
you
have
put the
forests
money where the
instead of
problems
people
are.
that shoot each other. Fucking bitch ass.
Alright,
Well, yeah,
do we want to
nothing wrong
argue?
with prioritising. Sorry.
Do we want to argue doctors? We've already got nurses. So
Yes,
doctors,
doctors.
we need
Good.
doctors.
We like doctors.
Because.
Oh,
They
the same
Already
fucking
brought
reason
them
as
out.
nurses.
like nurses.
Then
Yeah.
why do we need doctors if we've already got nurses?
We have both.
Because they're more
We
trained.
want to be overkills. They have different roles.
Yeah.
So you guys want, oh fine, whatever. 3 against 1, I'm putting it in. Okay.
Alright, you just don't go to a doctor anymore. Only go to nurses. See how that works out for you.
Last time I went to a doctor, they get my ears flushed. I can hear now. I don't need to go to the doctor again.
Did the doctor do it or the nurse do it? Because the nurse can do that too.
It looks like a doctor to me.
Okay, well,
And the
Well, that's
receptionist
profiling.
said-
they mustn't have been that
The
busy.
receptionist said the doctor will see you.
What do
now.
you mean it?
Did they have a stethoscope?
Until
Yes.
people
Doctor.
refer to
Nurses can have stethoscopes too.
No, they can't.
No, no, no.
No, I've seen a nurse
no.
with a stethoscope before.
You're a
Well,
nurse.
that's a fucking standard.
You're a
Yeah,
nurse.
it wasn't at a party.
You're a nurse. Put a stethoscope on your shoulders. You're a doctor.
Wow, is it that easy? Do you get the pay raise too?
I assume so.
I've adopted a new policy of if someone refers to like a child as it, then I'm going to refer to anyone that they talk about that's not that is trans or whatever. I'll say it as well. If they call it like
Is
kids.
that going to come up many times in your life?
Alright,
Like you made this
because
stance.
so many people refer to kids as like it. Oh,
That's
it
horrible.
looked cute or something,
Oh no, I've done that before.
I would say about like an animal.
I've never heard
I
someone
would
call a
never
child
call
it.
another human it.
What about they? Do they maybe they?
They. I mean, they.
No.
If they're like one of those they people.
Here's what we got.
Oh, yeah.
Required services. We've got armed forces, ambulance drivers, firefighters, nurses, doctors, delivery
What about
drivers,
police cars?
farmers.
Police car
That's
drivers.
a car. Police officers. You want to put that down?
I thought they were all. I thought we did emergency services.
I'm not putting services in the title. That's the thing.
Sorry, emergency.
I
vehicles.
guess you could have
Emergency vehicle.
people.
No, people.
So they just
Private
services,
security.
yeah.
Yeah.
How
because
much
those
would
are-
you pay for a police subscription?
Nothing.
I reckon do.
No,
Called
if
taxes.
you didn't pay tax,
I don't know
right?
how much.
How
is
much would you pay for a police
Ca-
subscription?
An
Depend-
excellent
do I get to
question for a
decide,
different-
like-
Oh.
Can I like pay different brackets for them to like kill different amounts of black people?
Different amounts of
Like if I pay more.
No. Okay. Should we have or force a citizen to armed forces, ambulance drivers, firefighters, nurses, doctors, delivery drivers, and farmers? Should we have them? Should we have them?
Yes.
So we decided.
Yes, and that was what we were saying. We should have all of those.
No, those are just whether they're required services, not whether that we should.
Yes, so now we know
I think
what
we should
required
have each of
services
those
are.
things.
We know some examples, yeah.
Should we have them?
We just said those were required.
You could still have those and then just not be called required
Yes,
services.
so make a decision, because Matt already has.
It's can't. Alright, I'm ready to make a decision.
Okay. Should we have required services?
What? No, so
We're out of time.
So I don't know about a doctor being part
Okay.
of the required services though.
Okay.
In the way that we've defined required
Okay.
services.
if I say
now,
no, can we not have those services?
Yeah, like
Even so, we just don't
and
label them required.
how are we saying required services now? Are we just saying it as should we have the services that we've said are required services, or should we have it
No, it's
with
not
the 18 months?
limited
thing?
to these things.
No, but you saying we should have the 18 months. Thing.
That was just my thing. No.
Well, we
that's-
shouldn't have it with
That's
when they're
6
doctors.
hours.
I'm saying there should be an 18-month doctor thing.
Yeah, no, that was just my.
Matt, we're on a different track now. We're not doing that, alright? Wait, so I forget, when we say should we have required services or not, do we mean like should we, as in like a sort of ethical, like what we should aim for?
If it should we vote before
We
the
should
cameras
aim
turn
we should
on?
aim to have no. We should aim to have none.
Oh fuck me sideways!
Oh no.
Oh.
We need clarification to make.
Why does it have to be an even split? Jesus fucking Christ.
Why does that matter?
Well, now I have to make a decision, don't I?
Well, you picked yes. I mean, that's gonna be really easy.
Oh.
Either way you pick.
Should we have required services?
Yeah,
Maybe we should do a revote.
No.
Yeah, that's
no,
what we
no,
do.
no.
I'll move the buttons around, and then you decide to press a random button.
The reason I exist
I mean, mine was
is that
like
you don't have to do that.
I was only like
It's up to me.
60% no and like 40% yes. So.
I was actually
pretty damn
I
close.
was the same.
Okay.
Oh fuck! Alright.
Maybe I was
Shut up.
70-30.
Everyone shut up.
I was 70% no.
Everyone
So yes passes.
3, 2, 1. Ice today.
I hope the camera's still going.
Based. Look what you've done. That is your fault.
Fuck off, that's not my fault.
No, don't say fuck off. Shut up. Based on the fact, we've got have and required. Have is a synonym of required. Should we have required services? I'm going to say yes. According to piece of string, we should have required services.
So how does the synonym of required?
Yeah, apparently at the last minute.
I would have had a different vote.
You would have required a different vote.
We should do a recount while the cameras are still.
Ready count. Ready count. Oh dear.
Tense for a little bit, didn't it?